Howdy, partners! Get ready for a culinary adventure that'll have your taste buds singing. Today, we're diving into a dish that's close to my heart, a symphony of tender chicken breast and fluffy eggs that's easier to whip up than you might think. It's comfort food with a kick, perfect for a hearty family meal or a satisfying weeknight dinner. Now, I know what you might be thinking, chicken and eggs? But trust me on this one. This ain't your ordinary breakfast scramble. This recipe takes these humble ingredients and elevates them to a whole new level of deliciousness. We're talking juicy, flavorful chicken and perfectly cooked eggs, all coated in a creamy, dreamy sauce. The secret? It's all about layering flavors and textures. We'll start by tenderizing the chicken to ensure it's melt-in-your-mouth tender. Then we'll add a touch of magic with my secret ingredient, mayonnaise. Don't knock it till you've tried it, folks. Mayonnaise adds a richness and creaminess that you just can't get from anything else. So gather your ingredients, put on your apron, and let's get cooking. I promise, once you try this recipe, it'll become a new family favorite. Before we embark on our culinary adventure, let's round up our trusty ingredients. Don't worry, there's no need to raid a fancy gourmet store. We're sticking to pantry staples that are probably already gracing your kitchen shelves. First and foremost, you'll need about 1.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breasts. These bad boys will be the star of our show. Next, grab a dozen large eggs. The fresher, the better. We'll also need a cup of all-purpose flour for dredging, which will give our chicken a nice golden crust. Now, let's talk flavor. You'll need salt and black pepper to taste, of course. And for an extra layer of deliciousness, gather your favorite herbs and spices. I'm partial to a sprinkle of paprika, garlic powder, and dried oregano, but feel free to get creative and experiment with your favorites. Last but not least, the secret weapon, mayonnaise. You'll need about half a cup of this creamy goodness. Trust me, it's the key to unlocking a world of flavor and moisture in this dish. Now that we've got our ingredients all prepped and ready to go, let's turn our attention to the star of the show, the chicken breasts. To ensure they cook evenly and turn out incredibly tender, we're going to give them a little TLC before they hit the frying pan. First things first, give those chicken breasts a good rinse under cold water and pat them dry with paper towels.
Next, we're going to do a little butterfly action. Using a sharp knife, carefully slice each chicken breast horizontally almost all the way through, but not quite. Think of it like you're opening a book. This butterflying technique not only helps the chicken cook more evenly, but it also creates more surface area for our flavorful coating to cling to. And trust me, more surface area equals more flavor. Once you've butterflied your chicken breasts, you can go ahead and give them a gentle pound with the meat mallet to ensure they're nice and even. Now, we're ready to move on to the fun part, adding some flavor.
Hold your horses, partners. Before we dive into the secret ingredient that takes this recipe from ordinary to extraordinary, mayonnaise.
Yes, you heard that right, mayonnaise. Now, I know what you might be thinking, mayonnaise in a chicken and egg dish. But trust me on this one, folks. Mayonnaise isn't just for sandwiches and potato salad, it's a culinary chameleon that can add a world of flavor and moisture to all sorts of dishes, including this one. The beauty of using mayonnaise in this recipe is that it acts as a binder, holding all those delicious herbs and spices in place and creating a lusciously creamy coating for the chicken. Plus, it adds a touch of richness and tang that you just can't get from anything else. So, don't be afraid to embrace the magic of mayonnaise. In a medium-sized bowl, add your half cup of mayonnaise and get ready to mix in some flavor.
Now that we've got our creamy mayonnaise base, it's time to let our taste buds run wild with herbs and spices. This is where you can really let your culinary creativity shine and customize the flavors to your liking. For a classic Southern-inspired flavor profile, I like to add a generous teaspoon each of salt, black pepper, paprika, and garlic powder to my mayonnaise mixture. These spices add a warm, savory depth that complements the chicken and eggs beautifully. If you're feeling adventurous, you can also experiment with other herbs and spices. A pinch of cayenne pepper will add a fiery kick, while dried oregano or Italian seasoning will give it a more Mediterranean flair. And for a touch of freshness, try adding a tablespoon of chopped fresh parsley or chives. The key here is to taste as you go and adjust the seasonings to your liking. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to flavor. Once you're happy with your spice blend, give everything a good stir until it's well combined. Now that our chicken is prepped and our creamy, flavorful mayonnaise mixture is ready to go, let's turn our attention to the other star of the show, the eggs. These golden beauties will add a protein-packed punch and a delightful, fluffy texture to our dish.
Crack your dozen large eggs into a separate bowl, making sure to fish out any stray pieces of shell. Now, here's a little trick for extra fluffy eggs. Add a tablespoon of water or milk to the bowl before you start whisking. This will help to create steam as the eggs cook, resulting in a lighter, airier texture.
Whisk the eggs vigorously for a minute or two, until the yolks and whites are fully combined and the mixture is light and frothy. You want to see lots of tiny bubbles forming on the surface. This will ensure that your eggs cook up nice and fluffy. Season the egg mixture generously with salt and pepper to taste. You can also add a pinch of your favorite herbs and spices to the eggs for an extra layer of flavor. Now comes the moment of truth, folks. Frying time. Heat a large skillet or cast iron pan over medium heat and add about a quarter cup of oil. You can use vegetable oil, canola oil, or even bacon grease if you're feeling indulgent.
While the oil is heating up, let's dredge our chicken. Place your cup of all-purpose flour in a shallow dish or plate.
Dip each butterflied chicken breast into the flour, pressing gently to coat both sides evenly. Shake off any excess flour.
Carefully place the floured chicken breast into the hot oil, making sure not to overcrowd the pan.
Cook for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side, or until they're golden brown and cooked through. The internal temperature should reach 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the chicken is cooked, transfer it to a plate lined with paper towels to drain any excess oil. Now that our chicken is cooked to perfection and our eggs are ready to go, it's time to assemble our masterpiece. But hold your horses, partners. We're not just slapping this dish on a plate willy-nilly.
We're plating with panache. Place your cooked chicken breasts on a serving platter or individual plates.
Now, pour the whisked egg mixture evenly over the chicken, making sure to distribute it evenly. The heat from the chicken will start to cook the eggs almost immediately.
Sprinkle a generous amount of shredded cheddar cheese over the top of the eggs. I like to use a sharp cheddar for a little extra bite, but you can use your favorite type of cheese.
Cover the skillet with a lid and let it cook for a few minutes, or until the cheese is melted and bubbly and the eggs are set. Our ultimate chicken breast delight is ready to grace your table, folks. But no meal is complete without a few side dish sensations to round things out.
Luckily, this dish pairs beautifully with a variety of sides, so you can let your culinary creativity run wild.
For a classic Southern comfort food feast, serve your chicken and eggs with a side of creamy mashed potatoes, collard greens sautéed with bacon, and a buttermilk biscuit or two.
The creamy, savory flavors of the sides will complement the richness of the chicken and eggs perfectly.
If you're looking for something a little lighter, a simple green salad with a tangy vinaigrette dressing is always a good choice. Roasted vegetables like broccoli, asparagus, or Brussels sprouts would also be delicious. And for a touch of sweetness, try serving your chicken and eggs with a side of baked beans or sweet potato fries. Well, partners, there you have it. Our ultimate chicken breast delight egg and cheese recipe is ready to be devoured. It's a dish that's sure to please everyone at the table, from the pickiest eaters to the most seasoned food connoisseurs.
But remember, cooking is about more than just following a recipe. It's about creating memories, sharing meals with loved ones, and savoring the flavors of life.
So gather your family and friends, put on some music, and let the good times roll in the kitchen.
Don't be afraid to get creative, experiment with different flavors, and make this recipe your own.
And most importantly, enjoy the journey. Happy cooking, everyone!